Oh my goodness, you look absolutely stunning.
Chairman. Good to see you. Let's welcome the latest couple in town. We are here for the holy matrimony of Michael Stone and Olivia Hayes. Do you, Michael Stone, take Olivia Hayes to be your lawful wedded wife? Yes, I do.
God, when?
Do you, Olivia Hayes Stone, to be your lawful wedded husband?
Yes, I do.
Does anyone have any reason these two should not be lawfully married?
I am against this. What is funny? Michael, where is my son? You cannot go through with this.
Who are you?
You know exactly who I am.
What is the problem with my son?
He is abandoned me and our son.
We will do a DNA test. Where is your son?
He is dead.
She is lying!
I'm not lying.
Securities, take her away.
Lagos had witnessed countless extravagant weddings, but none compared to the one taking place that Saturday afternoon at the Emerald Grand Hotel on Victoria Island. For weeks, newspapers had carried the same headline: the wedding of the year. Radio presenters discussed it every morning. Social media influencers counted down the days. Even people who had never met the bride or groom spoke about them as if they were family. Michael Stone, the young billionaire behind Stonecrest Properties, was finally getting married to Olivia Hayes, the brilliant interior designer whose work decorated the homes of Nigeria's wealthiest families. They were the perfect couple. Young, successful, elegant, blessed. Inside the magnificent ballroom, the atmosphere was alive with excitement. Crystal chandeliers reflected warm golden light across polished marble floors. White roses lined the aisle. A live orchestra played softly as guests settled into their seats. Among the front row guests were 3 other wealthy couples, close friends of Michael and Olivia. They laughed, exchanged jokes, admired the decorations. They had celebrated birthdays together, traveled together, built businesses together. From the outside, they looked like a family. No one could see the cracks beneath their smiles. Michael stood confidently at the altar in a perfectly tailored black tuxedo. He glanced at his watch, then looked toward the entrance. The doors opened. Olivia appeared, the entire room rose to its feet. She looked radiant in a flowing white gown, holding a bouquet of ivory roses. Her father proudly walked beside her. Michael smiled. For a brief moment, outside the ballroom, a taxi pulled quietly to a stop. Comfort Clark stepped out. She was dressed beautifully in a pink dinner gown. She stood at the hotel entrance for several seconds, staring at the banner that read, "Congratulations, Michael and Olivia." A tear rolled down her cheek. She quickly wiped it away. Comfort said softly, "You don't get to start a new life while mine was destroyed." She tightened her grip on her handbag and walked inside. The wedding ceremony continued. The pastor smiled warmly as he addressed.
Marriage is built on love, trust, patience, and truth. Without truth, no marriage can stand. We must understand this.
Comfort stopped walking. Those words pierced her heart. Truth. That was all she had come to fight for. Nothing more, nothing less. The vows began. Michael repeated every word without hesitation. Olivia's eyes filled with joyful tears as she spoke hers.
We are here for the holy matrimony of Michael Stone and Olivia Hayes. Do you, Michael Stone, take Olivia Hayes to be your lawful wedded wife? Yes, I do.
God, when?
Do you, Olivia Hayes Stone, to be your lawful wedded husband?
Yes, I do.
Does anyone have any reason these two should not be lawfully married?
Nobody moved. Then, a voice echoed from the back of the hall. The applause died instantly.
I am against
Every
this.
head turned. Comfort slowly walked down the aisle. Her footsteps echoed across the silent ballroom. Michael stared at her. At first, he didn't recognize her. Then, his face changed, only slightly, but enough. Olivia noticed. She looked from Comfort to Michael, then back again. Olivia, Michael, do you know her? Michael forced a smile. No. Comfort stopped a few meters from the stage. She looked directly into Michael's eyes. Comfort, look at me carefully. You've forgotten me, but I have never forgotten you. Guests began whispering among themselves. The photographers lowered their cameras. Even the orchestra had stopped playing. Michael's father, David Stone, slowly stood up. His voice was calm, but firm. Young woman, whoever you are, today is my son's wedding. If you have any misunderstanding, this isn't the place. Comfort ignored him. She reached into her handbag. Security officers immediately moved closer. Instead of a weapon, she brought out a tiny blue children's shoe. Old, worn, carefully preserved. she held it high enough for everyone to see. The ballroom fell silent. Comfort's voice trembled, not with fear, but with years of pain. Comfort, this is all I have left of my son. Michael's heartbeat quickened. For the first time that afternoon, his confident smile disappeared.
Michael, where is my son? You cannot go through with this.
Who are you?
You know exactly who I am.
What is the problem with my son?
He is abandoned me and our son.
We will do a DNA test. Where is your son?
He is dead.
She is lying!
I'm not lying.
Securities, take her away.
He turned back toward the guests. His voice became louder, more confident.
Unfortunately, my family has experienced things like this before. People have tried to blackmail successful men. They wait for important occasions, hoping to destroy reputations. I choose to forgive her.
Changed direction? So she came for money? This is wicked. Poor Michael. Imagine trying to ruin someone's wedding. Comfort's heart sank. This wasn't happening. Not again. The guests watched in uncomfortable silence. Some looked away. Others simply shook their heads. Olivia stood frozen. David, don't let a desperate stranger steal the happiest day of your life. Silence filled the hall. It lasted only a few seconds. David adjusted his suit and smiled at the congregation once again.
Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize once more. Let's not allow bitterness to destroy what God has brought together.
The pastor hesitated. He looked at Michael, then at Olivia. Finally, he reopened his Bible. The ceremony continued. Michael and Olivia exchanged rings. They kissed. The guests applauded. The orchestra resumed playing. The wedding reception went on exactly as planned. Champagne flowed. People danced. Photographers captured smiling faces. Before the night ended, entertainment blogs had already published headlines. Wedding of the year ends in grand style, despite minor disruption. No article mentioned the blue shoe. No article mentioned the dead child. No article mentioned Comfort Clark. Money had a way of deciding which stories deserved to be told. Comfort sat alone on a bench outside the hotel gates. Her eyes remained fixed on the entrance. Luxury cars drove past her one after another. Inside every vehicle were people laughing, celebrating, and returning home after a beautiful wedding. To them, she was just another woman looking for attention. A liar, a gold digger, someone desperate for money. She slowly opened her handbag and carefully placed the tiny blue shoe back inside. Then she removed an old photograph. It showed a 6-year-old boy laughing. boy laughing as he played on the sand in front of a modest compound. Her fingers trembled as she gently wiped the dust from the picture. Next, she brought out another photograph. It had been taken years earlier at a luxury beach resort. Michael stood smiling beside 3 wealthy couples. Comfort studied every face, one after another. The tears in her eyes slowly disappeared. The pain that had driven her to the wedding was changing into something far more dangerous. Determination. The same 3 couples who had occupied the front row at the wedding. Comfort studied every face. She folded the photographs and whispered, "You buried my son's story. I won't just expose you, Michael. I'll expose every one of you." Just then, her phone rang. The caller ID displayed unknown number. She answered cautiously. A trembling female voice spoke. "Comfort, I think what happened to your son happened to my sister too." Comfort immediately sat upright. "Comfort, please, who is on the line?" There was a brief silence. Then the woman replied, "Amima." Comfort's heartbeat quickened. "What did you say?" Before she could ask another question, the call ended. The screen went dark. That night, Comfort returned to her small apartment. Sleep refused to come. She replayed everything that had happened at the wedding. David's speech, the tiny blue shoe. Then, her phone rang again. The same unknown number. She answered immediately. "Ima?" "Yes, I'm sorry the call ended. I wasn't safe." Comfort lowered her voice. "Where are you?" "Not over the phone. We need to meet." They agreed to meet an hour later at a quiet garden cafe, tucked behind an old bookstore on the outskirts of town. Few people knew the place. It was peaceful, private, perfect for people who didn't want to be seen. Neither woman spoke for several moments. Then Ima looked directly into Comfort's eyes. I was the only person she trusted. Before she died, she told me everything. That's why I believe you. Because I already know those people are wicked. Comfort leaned forward. "Do you have anything that can prove it?" Ima nodded. She carefully removed a small flash drive from her handbag. "Ima, my sister secretly recorded some of their conversations. She knew something might happen to her. She wanted the truth to survive, even if she didn't." Comfort stared at the flash drive. It felt heavier than gold. "Ima, if we work together, we can pull them down." For the first time since her son's death, hope flickered inside Comfort's heart. She nodded. "Tomorrow, I'll come to your house. We'll begin." Ima smiled faintly. It was the first genuine smile she had managed in years. Neither of them knew. Someone sitting inside a packed black SUV across the street had watched their entire meeting. As the two women walked away in different directions, the tinted window slowly rolled up. The following morning, Comfort arrived at Ima's address carrying a small backpack and a notebook. But something was wrong. Long before she reached the compound, she heard loud cries. People filled the narrow street. Women wailed. Men whispered in disbelief. Neighbors stood in clusters, shaking their heads. An ambulance was parked outside the gate. Comfort's steps slowed. A cold feeling spread through her body. She grabbed an elderly woman standing nearby. Comfort, please, what happened? The woman wiped tears from her face before answering. The young lady who lives here. They found her dead this morning. Comfort's world stopped. Her legs became weak. The backpack slipped from her shoulder. She pushed through the crowd. Inside the compound, a white sheet covered a lifeless body. Only a pair of familiar sandals remained visible beneath the cloth. Comfort froze. Her heart pounded against her chest. Less than 24 hours earlier, Ima had promised they would bring powerful people to justice. Now, she was dead. It's been 3 days since Michael and Olivia's biggest wedding in Lagos shut down everywhere. The guests had returned to their homes, carrying beautiful memories, expensive souvenirs, and countless photographs from what many still described as the wedding of the year. Only one unpleasant moment remained in everyone's memory: the interruption. Social media had already taken a different direction. Some blogs described Comfort as a desperate woman trying to extort a billionaire. 5 days later, Michael and Olivia landed in the Maldives for their honeymoon. Crystal blue waters stretched endlessly around their luxurious overwater villa. The gentle sound of waves replaced the endless noise of Lagos. For the first time since the wedding, Michael looked relaxed. Olivia, however, wasn't. She stood quietly on the balcony, staring at the ocean while holding a cup of coffee. Michael noticed. He walked behind her and gently wrapped his arms around her waist. "You're still thinking about the wedding, aren't you?"
Talk to me.
Olivia remained silent. Michael kissed her forehead. She slowly turned to face him. There was no anger in her eyes, only curiosity.
She is a nobody.
Are you sure?
Olivia searched his face.
Nobody doesn't walk into someone's wedding carrying a child's shoe.
Michael sighed. He walked toward the balcony railing. For a few seconds, he admired the ocean before speaking.
When I first started my business, people tried everything to bring me down. They spread rumors. They forged documents. They even paid people to make false claims. Comfort is just another person who believed she could make money by embarrassing me.
So why were you afraid?
I was afraid because you are too beautiful. Because I was embarrassed. Thousands of people were watching. I wasn't afraid of her. I was shocked. Do you trust me?
Yes.
Olivia rested her head against his chest. Outside, the waves continued rolling peacefully toward the shore. For a while, everything felt normal again. The honeymoon became everything Olivia had dreamed of. They swam in the clear blue ocean. They watched sunsets from a private yacht. They laughed over candlelit dinners. They explored hidden beaches where no one knew their names. Michael became the attentive husband every woman wished for. He surprised Olivia with handwritten notes. He cooked breakfast one morning, even though he could barely fry an egg. Olivia smiled more than she had in months. Gradually, comfort became a distant memory. 2 weeks later, their private jets landed back in Lagos. Business resumed almost immediately. Michael returned to Stonecrest Properties, where dozens of staff members welcomed him with applause. New projects awaited his approval. Investors lined up for meetings. Journalists requested interviews. The empire never slept. Olivia also immersed herself in work. Her interior design company had secured contracts to furnish 3 luxury estates on Banana Island. Every magazine wanted to feature the newly married power couple. Every event organizer wanted them as special guests. They had become Lagos's favorite couple. The following Saturday, Michael invited all 5 couples to his mansion for dinner. The atmosphere was warm and lively. Everyone laughed as souvenirs from the Maldives were distributed. Designer perfumes, luxury watches, handmade ornaments, boxes of premium chocolates. Each gift came with a funny story from the trip. The women admired Olivia's vacation photographs. The men teased Michael about becoming too romantic. For hours, there was laughter, music, food, wine. Anyone watching them would have believed these friendships would last forever. But beneath every smile, something remained hidden. One husband secretly avoided answering his wife's phone calls during business trips. Another wife smiled at everyone around the table while quietly covering a bruise beneath her makeup. A third couple barely spoke to each other, unless other people were present. Another husband spent more time replying to messages than listening to his wife. Perfection existed only when people were watching. No one noticed these tiny cracks, except Olivia. As dinner came to an end, she watched the other couples carefully. She realized something strange. Every marriage around the table looked happy, but none of them looked peaceful. She couldn't explain why. It was only a feeling, a quiet discomfort that settled in her heart. Before she could think further, Michael gently squeezed her hand beneath the table. "What are you thinking about?" Olivia smiled. "Nothing." She lied. Because even in the middle of laughter, she couldn't completely forget Comfort's eyes or the tiny blue shoe.